Hey guys, Brandon Woolum hanging out in Nashville with Trent Harmon. How are you,
I'm
man?
doing all right, man. How you doing, Brandon?
Good. So let's do the quick rundown of your story. 2016 American Idol winner,
hmm
successful country career, always been involved in worship, but not in the forefront like it is now. Now you've shifted even more to where you're all in on worship music, brand new EP out there. Let's talk about what caused the shift.
Uh, a short answer, yeah, a two-part answer rather. I had a baby. I had a baby, and you think, that that's going to change things in the ways that you perceive that it will, and then it's so many more things that it changes. And I like you said, I've always been involved in worship, but um, it was just something that I did as I was able to, and then it was more and more involved. And I don't know, I told somebody at one point, I was like, at the end of a set, at the end of a if, I don't like this word, but at the end of a secular set, if you will, any kind of set, you say you leave it all on the stage, and then you go back to the hotel room and you kind of feel empty. And so a lot of people try to fill that void with whatever else. And at the end of a worship set, I always felt full,
Hmm.
and I'm definitely leaning into that feeling.
Well, the new EP is out there now, Scars and Sins.
Yeah.
And if you look at the songwriters on this, there's names that you know from the secular country industry and
Yeah.
some Christian songwriter names on there too. How did these songs come together? Are these ones that you've been writing for years, or are these all kind of recent Trent songs?
Uh, Both. I've written some of them in like right before COVID kind of came to an end, and then a couple of them, I brought ideas into the room, and I thought, guys, I was in church last night, and because I always go to the night service at the church we attend here in Nashville, and I'd come in on Monday morning still on a high from a church service, and it would find its way into the writing session. And Nashville writers are so multifaceted that whether or not they believe, quote unquote, they can help you form that vision for that day. And we wrote some worship songs that are on the album.
Yeah, these songs that are out there now are just part one of what will at least be a two-part series.
That's right.
When will we get the entire album?
Fourth quarter of this year. Yeah, fourth quarter of this year. The second part of the project will be out. Yeah.
Do you approach songwriting differently when you're writing the type of music that's on this EP compared to what you've been writing in the past for the country industry?
Uh, you know, that's a really good question. I don't know if I consciously do, but I probably do because, like I said, I would usually come up with ideas for co-writes on the morning of for a country song. Get up early on Monday morning, have your coffee, get some ideas. These song ideas really start on Sunday night while you're in service, you're in worship. And so I probably am processing a lot more of the songs by myself than a collaborative write, if you will. Yeah. So yeah.
As people listen to these new songs, I'm sure there's some that are a little more personal to you. What one do you want people to go back, give a real deep listen into the lyrics, maybe not just skim over it?
Uh, one off the project that I didn't write on, but it had a hold on me from the first listen was one that I did hear in the cafe. You'll see my face. Yeah, I mean it's if you will, God's perspective speaking to a person that may be ready to give up, may feel hopeless, may feel there's no need to lean into God at this point in time because they're too far gone. And that one grabbed me. Yeah, don't skim past that one. It's a little bit slower. It's a ballad, if you will, but yeah, read that lyric, feel that lyric.
You've recently resurfaced that 2018 video where you were in the hotel room and kind of talking about something is missing. Is that something maybe once this started, a fan brought to your attention? Like, hey, do you remember this video? Or is that always kind of been in the back of your mind that might have been the starting point where you're sitting there in that hotel room by yourself that night thinking,
Uh, I don't think I've actually said this, but I made several of those videos
ooh,
prior to that, in case I ever, needed some kind of reminder to myself. But I didn't. I don't know, for whatever reason I don't know if I deleted them or I just didn't use it. But I I was having that conversation as far back as like travel baseball. I remember being 12, 13, 15, 16 years old and going back to the hotel, and just like saying, man, it's Sunday. We just won the Natty, and I don't feel right, man. Like we're supposed to be in church. My whole family's out of church right now because we're on the road for travel ball. And so even at that age, I mean, that was 10 years prior to that video after, I think we were in Chicago. It may have been Red Rocks. We played Red Rocks, and I think was the night I made that video that I posted about where I said, just had a great show. Something don't feel right. Something don't feel right. So I made kind of several iterations of that video, but that was the one that was most current. And I believe that guy in the video too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that the average fan like me and some of the people sitting around here as we talk, you think you're at the height of your career right there. You just came off American Idol win. You're out on arena tours just 2 years after the win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes people forget not everybody that won American Idol gets that Carrie Underwood push. They're not mega stars instantly, especially the further we get around.
That's right.
How do you deal with that internal battle when you're sitting there, you think that you should be getting this mega push and you're sitting in a hotel room, even making these videos lonely?
It's, I think that those are the moments where I realized, mega push or not, this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't it. I've been more fulfilled, and not to make it about me. It's not about how I feel or what fulfills me. I don't feel like I'm doing my potential musically for the Lord, even at a Red Rocks, at a stadium. I didn't feel like I was doing what was most fulfilling. If Jesus were in the crowd, like if I'm doing what I'm supposed to, and big push or not, because I've had the big push. I've been on the show, the big shows, and I felt more fulfilled in a church, at my grandmother's church of 50 people. Truly, I know people say that, but like I would get more fired up to sing something with just a track on one speaker and singing a song for 50 people. I felt like I was more in line with what I'm called to do rather than to do a 45-minute set at Red Rocks. And it seemed like more things were getting in the way of me doing those big shows. Red Rocks, we didn't have any sound for the first 30 minutes of our 45-minute set. The board went out.
Wow.
And I'm like, here's your sign. This is you. If you're having to push this hard, maybe try a different direction.
Now that we're finally getting these songs out there for everybody to listen to, will there be a chance that you're going to take this on tour outside of Nashville to maybe some small churches?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, whoever will have me, let's go.
All right. How do they get a hold of you to get that in the church if they're watching this right now?
So you can look website, socials, etc. Most everything is first last name Trent Harmon or official Trent Harmon Music, either one of those.
Yeah, if somebody's watching this, they're stuck between that part where what they're doing right now and maybe what God is calling them to do. Yeah. What advice do you give them?
You're not going to like this answer. Don't ask a lot of people. Don't ask a lot of people, because if you ask, I come from a restaurant background. My parents have a steak and fish house, and my dad would always say, if you ask the customers how they like something, if you ask 100 people, you'll get 100 different answers. Just talk to one person about it. Talk to God about it, and then maybe expand to a couple of people that you really trust will give you honest feedback. But you know yourself. Like, you have that conversation internally every day, every hour. And what I think I'm describing right now is prayer. So There's the answer.
Yeah, well, the new album or new EP is out there, Scars and Sins, right now streaming. And later this year, you'll get another part of that, which will make a full album.